This is Conspiracy Blog. The topic we're going to handle today is how couples can manage nagging partners or can handle nagging partners. Nagging is a psychological thing. It's not real, but it is there. And its management is very, very important in a relationship or marriage between a man and a woman. Because of the prevalence of nagging in families, the American Psychiatry Association did a research on it, but came up with the result that nagging is not a mental illness. But across the ocean to the UK, it was found that about 43% of divorce suits come from nagging and bad communication between couples. But in all of these, we will agree that nagging is a problem in relationship. Now, in marriage, it is very easy for a man to become polygamous for whatever reasons. The society does not frown at it. But if a woman moves on to marry one or more husbands, she's not, you see, it becomes a taboo. You see, that woman marrying two husbands, this is called polyandry. The community does not, the society does not welcome polyandry at all. And so because of that, a man in marriage is more relaxed than a woman. And so anything that will make a woman lose or disturb her marriage, she will try to make sure that thing is not allowed to fester. And so because of this, nagging is more on the side of the woman than on the man. Now, before we go into marriage, you must all be understood that the man and the woman must have come from different backgrounds. They underwent different upbringings. And they also passed through different types of peer groups and influences as they were growing up. 2, the chemistry, the body chemistry of the man and the woman can never be the same. And so the attitude of the woman towards a particular issue or issues in marriage and the attitude of the man towards issues in the marriage can never be the same because they are coming from different backgrounds. And their mental capacity and analysis, it can never be the same. Therefore, again, you may find out that one of them could be an introvert and the other one an extrovert. All these things combined could create problems in marriages if not well handled, and could even create this nagging thing we're talking about. You see, like we mentioned earlier, this nagging is more prevalent in women because anything that would cause insecurity in a woman's relationship or marriage, she will want to avoid it. And so this question of insecurity, which is one of the challenges in marriage, breeds nagging. What do I mean by that? Because that's the main thing. A man goes to work and comes back late. The wife asks him, "Where did you go to?" So, "Woman, don't disturb me. I had a meeting." The woman calms down. The next day he comes back at midnight. "Where did you go to?" "Oh, we had a party." The woman calms down. The third day, he may not even come back. He might come back by 1 a.m. drunk. The woman will say, my darling, the other day you told me you had a late night meeting. The other day you say had a party. This one you are coming drunk. Why? What is happening? Instead of the man communicating effectively with her, the man pushes her aside. The woman starts, that insecurity has set in immediately. Maybe there's someone that is trying to take my husband from me, or maybe there is someone that is trying to, come into my, make him sack me. So many things would be bottled up in her mind. And the only way she can express it is to try to get her husband to explain things to her. And the moment the man refuses to communicate effectively with her, nagging will come up. There's no way that nagging can stop. It can either be from the side of the man or from the side of the woman. The woman goes to the market. She spends about 3-4 hours before she comes back. Hey, woman, where did you go to? I went to the market now. The man start asking, is that how you answer me? The next day, she goes to market, comes back 4-5 hours later. The husband tells you, man, if you don't want me to go to you better come and take the money and go to the market. You don't know. Instead of the woman coming down to explain, she will not. The man starts saying, maybe something is wrong. That situation breeds insecurity. And immediately insecurity comes into any marriage or relationship, nagging will come up. That is the issue. And so there are other things that can cause nagging in the family. Sometimes a woman sees the husband behaving strangely, and wants to find out from the husband, look, darling, what's the problem? You've never been behaving this way. If the man is an introvert, the man will not answer her. A lot of things to be running around in her mind. What is my problem? Has my wife, the husband has problem in the office? Is he quarreling with anybody? Does he have a family issue? All these things to be disturbing the woman. But the man just refuses to explain himself to his wife. These things will breed insecurity. Therefore, if you want to handle nagging, to stop nagging your family, whether it's on the side of the wife or on the side of the woman, the first thing is to put in place effective communication. Very important. Even if the woman asks you questions, Mr. Man, please try and calm down and explain yourself to your wife. If your wife finds out that what you are telling her is correct, she will stop nagging you. Whatever is the issue. Even there are some women that will nag, the man will give her money to go to market, the woman says it is not enough. Mr. Husband, please try. Calm the woman down and explain situations to her. Women are very absorbent. Women are very receptive. That's true. If you're able to explain these things very well to the woman will calm down, will stop nagging you. But some men will not be ready. Instead of explaining things, they say, look, woman, I don't have any other money. If you cannot manage that, leave. It's wrong. That sends very wrong signals to the woman. And, women gossip a lot. You won't even know whether somebody has told her somewhere. When your husband comes, buys this for this woman, buys that for that woman, then that thing is in her mind. And you don't give her enough money to go to the market. Her mind will be telling her, maybe what that woman gossiped to me the other day is correct. The money my husband could have given to me to take care of the family, he is giving it out to another woman. Wait, and you now see that nagging will be coming in astronomical progression. Because you've refused to explain the truth to her. Therefore, the first thing you do in reducing nagging or stopping it in your family, whether you're a man or a woman, is the ability to put in place effective communication. When the person is annoyed or the person is vexed, please allow the person to calm down. Whether it's a husband or wife, go near and explain. Then this explanation might bring about, questions and answers. Calm down and explain. You see that nagging will go. Another thing that would help is in stopping or reducing or stopping nagging is continuous assurance. Every woman wants her husband to give her a continuous assurance that he remains a loyal husband. He remains a loving husband. He remains a protective husband to the wife. Immediately that woman has that assurance in her, honestly, she will calm down. She will stop nagging you. But when you treat the woman as a second-hand citizen in the house, she will continue nagging you. Look, Mr. Husband, you married me. I am your wife. I have a right to ask you these questions. And I have a right to receive adequate answers. And you still say, get away. Are you not my wife? I married you with my money. Yes. There will be crack. There will be problem. The woman will want to assert her right as a wife. And you want to assert your right as the head of the house. Because if you start quoting the Bible for her, Christ is the head of the man and the man is the head of the house. So I say, okay. Then you climb on top of your head and make life difficult for you. Even when you want to rest, you continue nagging. Mr. Man, you must answer this question. If you don't answer, you will not rest. You might want to, in annoyance, want to pick up your key. I mean, she'll block the road. Block the door. You won't go out. You must answer. And that thing could lead to what? Wife battery, which is not accepted in society. Therefore, for you to avoid all this, you must give your wife continuous assurance. Women are very easy to placate, honestly. Immediately you give her the assurance that you are by her side, you are all you need, all you are to him. To her, sorry. The woman will be comforted by those statements. And each time she wants to overdo anything, she'll come and say, well, this man has given me assurance that I'm on his side. The third way of families coping with this nagging issue is not being ambiguous when you are explaining things to your couple or your partner. For example, you just cannot tell your wife, I went for a party. It's ambiguous. You try to be specific. Something happened, maybe a friend came from somewhere, or your office called you to a party, and you had a party at X hotel, and then you stayed there, and when you got there, some other friends came in, you started discussing this and all that and all that. Try to explain it vividly. Don't just be ambiguous. We had a party at a hotel. The woman will say, which hotel? Because the woman can interpret this party to mean taking your girlfriends to go and give them lunch or dinner in a posh hotel and come back and say it's a party. No. Please try to explain. It was an official party, and my head of department or my director or my managing director invited us. We went to this hotel, so that if the woman bothers to verify, she can go and verify. Because if you make it specific and she goes to verify and find out that what you told her was correct, this nagging will go. But if your statements are ambiguous and you cannot explain, there is probably a problem. Sometimes somebody has told her, oh, I saw your husband giving a lift to one girl that lives down there, and the man comes back, and then you ask your husband, look, Mr. Husband, you are welcome. Please sit down. Who was that lady you were giving a lift in the morning? You ask her and say, well, she says, well, who is that girl? You keep mute. Who is that girl? You say, oh, look, this is Miss Lola. That lady that lives along, we walk in nearly around the same place, or she's going in my direction. I gave her a lift. Well, she will not answer you, but because you've given the name of the woman and you told her that you all live around the same area, you are walking around the same area, she will just take it. But when you tell her, call woman, don't I have a right to give somebody a lift? Must I tell you who I lift? No, it's not wrong. It will create problems. Because it is possible that you are lifting your girlfriend. But if you mention the woman's name and where you are taking her to, she will tell herself, say, look, you can go and verify. But if you just give that ambiguous statement, I lifted a woman, what's your problem there? My woman, mind your business. It breeds problem. So there are so many other ways you can take care of nagging. One of it is not answering the woman. But that does not much help. Because if you might answer the woman in annoyance and it will create more problems and might lead to wife battering. But if the woman is explaining herself to you, if you don't want to, if you think you cannot contain yourself, move out of the house. Give it a few minutes. Some people suggest putting up good music, heart-soothing music and listening to it. By the time it is 5-10 minutes, you've calmed down, the woman has calmed down. Then you now have an opportunity to explain. Because there are some women that are really, really extroverts. Unless you attend to them, they don't allow you to have peace of mind. But if you don't want to go out, put on good music, listen to it, and then by the time the adrenaline in that woman goes down, you'll be in a position to do what? Explain things to her. But in all and all, whether you get into a marriage, you must find out the do's and don'ts of the woman so that it will help bring peace to your family. Because, you see, there is this verse in the Christian Bible, St. John's Gospel, chapter 8, verse 32, which says, if you know the truth, it shall set you free. That statement is good for all activities, all human activities. What do I mean? If you don't want to have this nagging thing in your family, in your married life, please try to find out the do's and don'ts of your husband or your wife. So that you'll be able to, if you find out that your husband does not like you looking shabby when he comes back from the office, he likes you to look sexy, he wants you to look pretty, then make yourself pretty. So that when he comes back, he's looking at something that will continue to attract him. But if the husband tells you, look, my wife, I don't want you to look shabby when I come back. I want you to look pretty, hug me and all that. When you come, what is this old man? What is it? No, or old woman. It's a problem. And vice versa. If the man wants you to, or your wife wants you to admire her when she comes back, do that. Because it will give assurance to the family that you are living peacefully. If the woman wants you to examine him before she goes out in the morning, please do give it to her. It brings concord. It brings agreement. The woman will say, look, woman, that blouse we are wearing does not fit the gown, does not fit your shoes. The handbag does not fit. She will smile, say, no, I don't love it. She goes, brings another handbag or another headgear, another earrings. Beautiful. You are now splendid. You are now cute. She goes, her mind will be so happy. Look, since my husband has admired me, I am okay. I'm good to go. She goes out and comes back happy. But when you look shabbily at her or she looks shabbily at you, there's no cohesion in the family. Those little things bring, even if the woman wanted to now say, no, at least my husband admires me. Dear viewers, in conclusion, I'll remind us that one of the things that creates problems and cracks in marriages is nagging. Therefore, in order to avoid nagging, reduce it to the barest minimum, we must put in place effective communication so that both the husband and the wife understand each other. 2, we must be able to, continuously give assurance to our partners, because that assurance keeps the relationship alive. Because you see, we're all human beings. It gets to a point where a relationship, it's just like in computer, I say refresh. Every day you are refreshing the relationship. and that keeps life going. The third one is not being ambiguous in explaining yourself to your partner. You must not be ambiguous, because if you are ambiguous, it does not give definitive analysis of what you are trying to explain to your partner. Do not be ambiguous, please. Then other areas which will help are those areas that might arise depending on the situation we find ourselves. Never you please reply your partner when your partner is annoyed. Never you do that. Allow your partner to calm down, then try to explain things over. If you do this, certainly there will be less nagging in the family, there will be more peace in the family, and the children will come up well trained and well brought up children. Dear viewers, thank you for listening. If you enjoy this episode, please subscribe to the channel. Until we come next time, remain blessed.